Bang. Listen, right? There is quite a phenomenon in this world, right? That is a bigger disease or virus than COVID or flu or anything could be, right? And to be completely honest with you, this one reeks in the majority of people, more than the majority, 99% of people, right? Is that people love to stay within their comfort zone, right? And within their comfort zone, it's all a mental battle, right? Let me just show you guys something. In here, I've got in my Notion board, which Notion is just a note taking app, right? I've got hundreds and hundreds of quotes, as you can see. As long as I scroll, it just keeps on going, right? And closer towards the top, the more it resonates with me, right? And each of these quotes symbolize something different. But the first one kind of is the biggest symbol that I believe. And it's cogito ergo sum, which means I think, therefore I am. It's Latin, made by Rene Descartes, right? And I think, therefore I am symbolizes the fact that life is 99%, maybe 100% mental. If you believe to be something, then you will always be it. About half, half of being rich is believing in the ability to be rich, delusional capacity, understanding the fact that it might be unreasonable, but it's still possible. And I believe it to be my reality rather than just thinking, okay, it's not possible or it's unrealistic, so we might as well just leave it, right? For example, there are 225 NBA players in the world, right? And there's around 40 million basketball players in the world. Sorry, in USA. And because of the fact that that's such a massive and vast disparity, wouldn't that kind of put away majority of the basketball people or the people who play basketball in America, just put them away, say like, you know what, I don't really want to play basketball, right? The answer is no, because those people who made it to the NBA, they beat the odds. Whether the odds is going to be stacked against them, the majority of them, they have some sort of delusional or even some mental deficiency for realism or something being realistic, that's why a lot of the times you see dumber people end up being more successful, right? It's because smarter people tend to overthink things. Now I think overthinking is a superpower, but some of the times overthinking can be a negative thing because people overthink things out of decision to inaction, right? The only way overthinking is going to be a superpower is towards action, right? If it leads you towards inaction or procrastination of action, then it's no longer a superpower, it's a curse, right? That's why there's always two sides to the same coin towards when it comes to overthinking, right? And when you understand that and realize, oh, there could be this, it could be this, or this could work, or it could either go this way, I could allow it to do this to me, or I could allow it to do this to me, then you understand that. Then you kind of have, when you're overthinking, you kind of have a different frame of mind, which allows you to actually make the best decisions, right? Chama, can you go away? I'm in the middle of something, please. Okay. You don't have to put the books in this room right now. Put it in your room. Okay? Yes. I know. And another thing that's as important, which is kind of relating back to this cogito ergo sum, is your ability to be successful is directly tied to your level of stress tolerance. Your ability to handle stress directly ties with your success towards anything. Whether it's being a sportsman, whether it's being a businessman, whether it's being a politician, wherever it's going to be, your level of stress tolerance is directly tied towards it. For example, Francis is in Ghana, right? There's a reason as to why I'm using this example, is because I went to Somalia recently and I seen people that are, just normal, living their lives and stuff like that. Obviously have a Somalia passport, whatever, not really having the ability to leave the country. And I'm thinking, right, look, these people with sand on their legs and whatever, they're never ever going to be able to leave this country, and this is going to be their life for the rest of their life, right? Whatever happens, wherever they go, whatever happens throughout the next 30, 40 years, I'm seeing older people in Somalia and realize they stayed here in this one country for the entirety of their life, right? they've not seen the rest of the world. That's just because once you're in a third world country like Somalia, like Cameroon, where Francis Ngannou is from, then you tend to stay there, right? Because the hill to climb is incredibly steep, and the steepness is a massive deterrence towards the majority of people, right? As they always say, the biggest step is the first one. Okay, I've not heard that quote before. I've actually made it just now, so I might actually add it to my quote list. The biggest step is the first one, because a lot of times I've heard things like, making your first 10k month is always going to be the most difficult, or going from zero to something is always going to be the most difficult, right? But I kind of just verbalized it just there. But anyway, you see these people and you understand these people they're never ever going to leave the country. They will stay. This is going to be their life for the rest of their life, and their life is kind of dictated in terms of it's because, to be completely frank, even to succeed within a country like Somalia is difficult, right? There are a few billionaires. I know one of them personally, Dabshin, family friend, and because everybody kind of knows everyone in Somalia. Maybe that also applies to the ethnic countries. But back to Francis Ngannou, right? He was one of those people. He was a miner. He was lower than a lot of those people because these people kind of have normal jobs. He was a miner, as in mining. He was mining coal, right? And that was his job as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, young child labour, those type of things. You see in UNICEF and those type of things. A lot of times they do exist and they're not just a facade, right? And because of this, if you see the position that he's at now, he was the UFC world champion. He now makes hundreds and hundreds of millions, maybe not hundreds and hundreds, but over 100 mil from his boxing fights. And I think he's part owner, maybe he has a stake in the MMA organization. But what I'm saying is he's gone from zero to hundreds of millions of net worth, right? And that shows to you, if somebody that can come from a mine in Cameroon to be able to make hundreds and hundreds of millions, a lot of the time luck is involved, obviously, and not luck, Qadar Allah, which means predestination by God, right? And sometimes you just end up accidentally becoming more fortunate than others, right? But a lot of the time it's all mental, It was luck, but people create their own luck. Luck in itself doesn't exist, right? Luck is created by the meaning of luck is putting yourself in a position where it's more probable, increasing your chances, your probability, right? If I stand and I say, you know what, let's just use a gambling example, right? Even though it's not the best example. If I buy one scratch card, right, my chances of getting lucky are 1. If I buy 10,000 scratch cards, my chances of getting lucky are significantly higher. Because why? I've put myself in a position where it's more probable. I've increased my probability, my chances, right? Now I've got 10,000 of those ones, right? But in actuality, obviously let's not use gambling as an example. Don't gamble. It's haram, bad for your health. But what I'm saying is, let's just say you work 10,000 days and you worked one day. For you to just catch a lucky break when you work in your business, what's more likely? 10,000 days. Obviously 10,000 days is a lot of time, but just as an example. So yeah, and you see the other way around as well. People who are rich and have been like this, given the silver spoon, see life through a rose-tinted glass, end up becoming the most incompetent people to ever exist. Why? It's all mental, A big disease is entitlement. They feel like they're entitled, and that mental structure, that mental mind frame, leads to them being unable and incapable of doing things for themselves because they believe that they deserve it, right? Now, there's 2 ways to believe that in terms of deserving. Believing you deserve it or believing you already have it is a good thing, as long as you understand the necessity for work to get to it. Or you, for example, one of the quotes I've heard is, I'm already rich, I'm just waiting for the world to catch up, right? Which means you know you're already going to be rich because you know you're going to be putting the work in. The work is premeditated. It's done. I'm gonna do it. Khalas, it's finished. I'm doing it. Without word, without a shadow of a doubt, it's getting done. Bang, I'm becoming a millionaire regardless, done. But then entitlement is when you believe, khalas, I'm getting it without doing anything. You understand what I'm saying to you? So that is a bit of a naivety because you believe things are gonna come without other things leaving. You know, a lot of the times life is a balance of priorities, right? Now there's people who say money doesn't make you happy and stuff like that, and money doesn't, you know, money doesn't make you happy. I agree. Money itself maybe doesn't make you happy, but money allows you to the ability to freedom, which in turn makes you happy, right? And not only the idea of freedom that makes you happy, it's just other things like putting your family in positions of freedom as well. You know, obviously a lot of people, their North Star, by the way, North Star is the biggest thing that's driving you, right? Yes?
Where's my goggles?
I don't know where your goggles are. I think they're.
My goggles.
I don't know where your goggles are. I think they're on the way. Are they in the packages? And are they in the new order?
You said you're going to give me goggles.
Okay, check. If it's ordered, if it's not inside there, then the next order is coming, okay?
Bring the bag with you.
No, it's not, Zaina.
No. Okay, check then.
Okay, I've checked, Zaina. It's not here. It's okay. Anyway, as you can see, one of the priorities I've made now is to make this YouTube video, regardless of all the things that are coming around me. You know, as they say, inaction is always going to be worse than imperfect action, right? Imperfect action is always going to be that important. Cogito ergo sum, right? I think therefore I am back to what I was saying, right? If you think you have the ability or you are capable to do certain things, you will always be able to do it. As I said, I think I'm already rich. I'm just waiting for the world to catch up, right? I think I'm already jacked. I'm waiting for the world to catch up. I think I'm already happy with family and children. I'm just waiting for the world to catch up. It's going to come. You know, that level of delusion is important. Be delusional, right? Now, to state this, there is a fine line, because as soon as you passed confidence into arrogance, that is also where entitlement lies, right? Being confident is key. Without confidence in almost every endeavor of human life, you will never ever succeed. Confidence is the ability to believe in yourself, right? And to believe in the ability, in your own ability, right? Without believing in your own ability and second guessing yourself, you will never be able to succeed, because you'll never be able to commit. And if you can never commit, you will never be able to succeed, right? Because you need to commit in order to succeed, right? Whether you want to catch a lucky break or stuff like that, you need to be able to commit, right? But where the difference between confidence and arrogance is, confidence, you have 100% belief in your ability, right? But you also know and understand that you can improve, right? I believe regardless of whatever happens, I'm going to be rich. Now the ball is in my court to make sure that I put myself in the position so I can do it more efficiently, faster. I want it tomorrow. I don't want it next week. I don't want it the day after. I don't want it 10 years from now. I want it when I'm young, right? I know regardless I'm going to be rich. So I'm just going to leave it at that and just let it happen, you know, in the future and stuff like that. I'm going to work slowly, bang, bang, done. Then it's going to come. Khalas. I know regardless of what happens, I know it's going to come. But it's not about that. It's about whether you are going to be able to do it efficiently. That's your job now. Your job is to do it faster, better, quicker, richer. Your job is to amplify. Alright, you can be confident. It's fine. Have full confidence. But the fine line between that is where you believe you have no what's it called? There is no space for amplification, right? Which means, like, I believe now I can do it better. I can do my business better. I can become more efficient. That's what I'm working on every day, changing this thing, making that better, changing that to make it better. But then, one of the other things before that is for me, if I wanted to make it, not want to make it better, if I was like arrogant, I would believe what I have is sufficient. What I have is fulfilling enough. Khalas, I don't need anything else. Because why? That level, that's arrogance. Arrogance is the inability to understand and take from others to improve. Arrogance is believing you are level 100. Confidence is believing you are level 100 and you're going to get there regardless. You're believing you're going to be at level 100 and you just have to get there quicker and you have to get there faster. And you know you're going to get there regardless, but you're trying to get there the best. You're trying to get there today, you're trying to get there tomorrow. You're not trying to get there next week. You're not trying to get there next year. Arrogance is believing you're at level 100 and you can't, not that you can't improve that, others can't help you improve. You know, you're going to just try to figure out yourself. That's being naive. Right? So a lot of the things like that I'm stating and everything like that, the most important thing is that you need to understand everything is mental. Having a good mental, or putting yourself in a good mental state is literally the difference maker between you and somebody else who's already rich. So I want to start talking business. I want to start talking all of these type of things, and I'm ready to. I'm big excited, right? Because I love talking business, I love talking life, because every single time I have these type of conversations with people that I know, and alhamdulillah, I can say I've changed their life, I've helped them, I've made them a better person, giving people books to read that are useful. One of my biggest books that I wrote, that I commend is Atomic Habits. What a book. If you're starting off in online business, everything like that, just start off with reading Atomic Habits, and you'll probably end up being a better person, and you'll be better in your business, and it's just a ripple effect of positive things. I don't think there's anything negative that can come from that book. Obviously, the most important book is the Quran, then it goes to Bukhari, and then we keep on going. But in terms of self-help books, I would read that. Hey, khalas, thank you very much for joining this video. I'll speak to you guys soon, inshallah. Salam alaikum. Oh, I closed this. I didn't end the video.